everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is June 19th, 2026. And ladies and gentlemen, we got some exciting news because Barcelona have secured their second and their third signing of this summer transfer market. And of course, I'm gonna tell you who they are. And finally, a Colombian fullback offering himself to Barcelona yet once again. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. And today we have very exciting news in regards to the summer transfer market because Barcelona have secured two more signings, making it now three signings this summer transfer market. Of course, the first one being Anthony Gordon. But before we talk about the new signings, let's talk about real quick the preseason because yesterday I gave you more details about Barcelona's preseason. This preseason is going to be different, of course, because of the World Cup. Usually, Barcelona likes to go on preseason tours because not only does it serve the team prepare for the season by playing friendly matches against different teams, but it also generates a lot of money for the club. But this time around, of course, we have the World Cup. So Flick has asked of Barcelona not to do an actual preseason tour so the players get to rest and don't get exhausted by that extra traveling and adjustment to different time zones. So instead, of course, Barcelona will be going to England. We know the preseason will begin on July 13th, where players will report to the Ciudad Esportiva for medical testing. And then on July 27th, the team will fly to England. They will train at St. George's Park, which is where the English national team, trains. And then on July 31st, we have a confirmed friendly match against Birmingham at St. Andrews. Barcelona are still working on playing a second friendly match against Stoke City or Watford behind closed doors. And then we might see a friendly match against Liverpool in Kenya. That's not 100% confirmed. And then, of course, as always, the final friendly match of the preseason will be the Joan Gamper Trophy match, which Barcelona plays every year at the Camp Nou. Well, the last 2 years it was different stadiums, but usually at the Camp Nou, where they invite a team to come and play a friendly match against Barca, usually the weekend before the Liga kicks off. Now, we've been talking about different possible opponents that have come and gone, and most of those have fallen apart, of course, because of scheduling. But now it seems like Barcelona could be playing the Joan Gamper Trophy match against the Egyptian side, Al Ahly. Now, if you don't know who Al Ahly is, they're probably the biggest club in Egypt, and that's, of course, where Hamza Abdel Karim comes from, right? That's where we signed Hamza Abdel Karim from. So there's talks about Al Ahly playing the Joan Gamper Trophy match. This could be kind of like as a Barcelona kind of like establishing a good relationship with them because after all, we did sign Hamza Abdel Karim for almost nothing. I think 1.5 million euros, if I'm not mistaken. So this will be a way kind of like to give back to Al Ahly by inviting them to play the Joan Gamper Trophy match because, of course, they also get part of the proceeds from playing against us. They get part of that ticketing revenue from that match. So this could be a way kind of like, to establish a good relationship with them. And I think this is always good to establish a relationship with other clubs in other continents because, of course, they could be the gateway to talents from that continent, just like Hamza Abdel Karim is. So this is now confirmed, of course. We'll see if this goes through. And now let's move on to the big news of today, the news that you guys, I'm sure, came to this video for, which is that Barcelona have secured the second and third signings of this summer. The first one, of course, being Newcastle's Anthony Gordon, who's now officially a Barcelona player and will come to reinforce Barcelona's attack. Now, the second signing of the summer transfer market after Anthony Gordon is someone we talked about yesterday. Yes, in yesterday's video. Excuse me. And today, more news confirming that Barcelona have now secured this signing, and it's no other than Jorge Salinas. If you did not watch yesterday's video, don't worry. I'm going to recap to you who Jorge Salinas is. He's a 19-year-old left back. He came up through Racing de Santander's academy. He had a stand-up performance last season in second division. He played 33 matches for Racing de Santander. 30 out of those 33 he started in. He provided 7 assists during those 33 matches. And he was key. He was helpful in Racing de Santander getting promoted from second to first division. Now, Jorge Salinas is someone who's known for his ability to possess the ball. In other words, his ability with the ball at his feet. He very good with forward passes, with build up from the back, and of course, good at defending. So pretty much the kind of fullback that Barcelona always looks for, a fullback that can defend, but at the same time can push forward and help with the attack. And a big added bonus is that Jorge Salinas can also play as a left-footed center back. In fact, he used to play as a left-footed center back with the reserve team of Racing. Then when he got promoted to the first team, he started playing as a left back. So kind of like a Gerard Martin situation where he could play in both positions. Now, given his amazing performance in the second division last season with Racing de Santander, Jorge Salinas attracted the attention of half of Europe. This is the list of the clubs that were interested in him: Newcastle, Bologna, PSG, Eintracht Frankfurt, Atletico Madrid, Porto, and Bayer Leverkusen. All these 7 clubs were linked to him. They were all looking to sign him, but Jorge Salinas has chosen Barcelona and Barcelona only. And as such, Barcelona will be securing his signing. They have already reached an agreement with the player. They're currently finalizing the last bit of details with Racing de Santander, so Jorge Salinas can join Barcelona this summer transfer market. Now, another factor that helped Barcelona beat all these other clubs is the agent of Jorge Salinas, who is the super agent, Jorge Mendes, the same agent for Lamine Yamal, amongst many other players. Now, Jorge Salinas has currently an 8 million euro release clause, which will go up to 16 starting July 1st. So this is why Barcelona looking to finalize this signing as soon as possible before that release clause doubles from 8 to 16. And despite the release clause being at 8 million euros, Barcelona is still trying to pay less than 8 million euros. There's talks right now about Barcelona sending an academy player to Racing de Santander on loan. That way we can lower that asking price of 8 million euros. There's also talks about maybe Racing de Santander maintaining a percentage of the rights of the player of any future sales to lower that. And if not, if Barcelona cannot reach any kind of agreement to lower that 8 million euros, it's just going to pay the 8 million euros and just call it a day and bring Jorge Salinas over to Barca. So Barcelona are right now working on reducing that 8 million euro release clause. If they can't, they're just going to pay it and bring the player. But the player is coming 100%. He's already agreed to it. So now it's just finalizing the last bit of details. Now, Jorge Salinas is a first-team signing. This is not a player that's going to come reinforce Barca Athletic or for the academy or anything like that. He's a first-team signing. And this is another reason why he also chose Barcelona, besides the fact that it's Barcelona. But because he is a first-team signing, he will participate in the preseason with Hansi Flick. So he will get his chance to impress the German coach, which, of course, begs the question, who is going to exit? Because if you think about it, we now have an overflow in the fullback positions, right? On the right, we have Jules Koundé, we have Xavi Espart, we have Hector Fort coming back from loan. On the left, we have Balde, we have Jorge Salinas that was just signed. We have Jofre Torrens, not to mention Eric Garcia can play as a right back. Gerard Martin can play as a left back. We're talking about 4 players per position. So I'm sure there's going to be some exits. The question is going to be, who will it be? But anyways, that's the question for a different day. For now, just know that Barcelona have secured their second signing of the summer transfer market, and it's no other than Jorge Salinas. Very, very promising player. Lots and lots of potential. We'll see what he has to offer during the preseason. Now, the third signing, because yes, I promised you 2 signings. The third signing is someone we talked about in the channel previously, who's no other than Josué Caicedo. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about this player several months ago. For those people who like to say, oh, Barcelona's just scout, Barcelona's just track players. Well, guess what? You have to track players before you sign them. How else are you going to know whether a player is good enough for you or not? It's not enough to just watch 1 match or 2 matches. You have to watch a player over an entire season to see how they do against different opponents, against in different weathers, in different cities, in different phases throughout the competition, when the competition is first starting and you're still fresh towards the end, when you're tired, when you get injured, how they come back after injury. There's so many factors that influence a player's performance, and you have to be able to see all of that from beginning to end. So no, Barcelona doesn't just scout or track players. They also sign them. But before you can sign them, you have to track them and you have to scout them. But anyways, Josué Caicedo, someone that Barcelona, I told you about months ago that Barcelona were scouting, that they were tracking. And well, now Barcelona have reached an agreement to sign the player. Now, if you don't know who Josué Caicedo is, 19-year-old left winger who's very versatile, by the way, can also play as a left midfielder and as a left back. So pretty much can cover the entire left flank from beginning to end. He was playing for LDU Quito in Ecuador. He's considered an incredibly promising player. Lots of speed, great dribbling ability, great crosses. He shined in the Libertadores under 20, which is the equivalent of the Champions League under 20. This is where he caught the attention of many European clubs, including Barcelona. And now Barcelona have beat all these clubs to the signing of Josué Caicedo, an incredibly promising player from Ecuador. Barcelona have signed him on a one-season loan with an option to buy worth 2.5 million euros, an incredibly low option to buy. And of course, a very low risk operation because he will be coming on loan. So if he works out, amazing. You keep him for 2.5. If not, you put him on a plane and you ship him back. No problem whatsoever. Now, unlike Jorge Salinas, who's a first team signing, Josué Caicedo will be coming to play at Barca Athletic. However, there's a big however, he will be in first team dynamic. Why? Because Barcelona trusts the potential of this player and they believe he will be a first-team player in no time. But nonetheless, they still want him to go to Barca Athletic first. It makes sense. He's coming, from a completely different league, completely different continent. So they're going to want him to go to Barca Athletic to start learning the Barcelona style of play, to start adapting to the club, to start adapting to Spain, to the Spanish league. And then once the adaptation phase is over, Barcelona expect this player to jump into the first team very quickly because they trust the potential that he has. So that's the third signing of this summer, ladies and gentlemen. Anthony Gordon, Jorge Salinas, Josué Caicedo. And of course, there's plans for more. I told you about how Barcelona are set to sign Jean Virgili. And then, of course, the big target for this summer will be Julian Alvarez. If all those come through, that would be 5 signings for Barcelona. For those of you who complain that, oh, no, everybody's signing left and right and Barcelona is not. What are we going to do? Like football is a competition on who signs more. But anyways, let's end today's video with the news that Daniel Munoz, ladies and gentlemen, has offered himself to Barcelona yet once again. Now, we've talked about Daniel Munoz previously on this channel, 30 years old, right back, Colombian right back, currently playing for Crystal Palace. He scored an amazing goal the other day against Uzbekistan in Colombia's victory 3-1 over the Asian team. And then Daniel Munoz has once again offered himself to Barcelona. His dream has always been to play for Barca. His idol growing up was Ronaldinho, and the player that he always looks up to as far as imitating the way they play is Dani Alves. So Daniel Munoz is offering himself to Barca. Again, this is not news that Barca will be signing Daniel Munoz. I just want to clarify that. This is just news that Daniel Munoz is offering himself once again to Barca, which of course, unfortunately, there is no space. We just talked about how there's 4 players per position, 4 for the right back, 4 for the left back. So I cannot imagine Barcelona wanting to bring a 5th one for the right back position. But nonetheless, my question to you is, if there was space on the team, would you sign Daniel Munoz? Yes, no, maybe. Let me know down below in the comment section. And with that, we're going to wrap up this video. I will be going live in a few more moments because there is more news to share with you. So stay tuned to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. And as always, be scarce.